dancing in the panic room. I made a promise, now I feel nauseous, as if I chugged a cup of stuff you clean your countertops with. But no Lysol will solve this, so I am out of options. It's past my bedtime and I'm honestly exhausted. And I just want to be more than nostalgia, receive like a hot dog down at the dog park, be your best friend. The things that I can't shoulder well, I pass on to my older self and hope I learn to cope so I don't end up broke or overwhelmed. Cause vocally, I'm not the best, I'm openly admitting that. But if you cared, I doubt you would have made it past McCracken. Yeah, if I look brave, I'm secretly pretending I'm a different me. The one on stage who plays and sings and claps and shouts and basically behind the door, just out of view, dancing in the panic room. I made a promise, now I feel nauseous, as if I chugged a cup of stuff you clean your countertops with. But no Lysol will solve this, so I am out of options. It's past my bedtime and I'm honestly exhausted. But if you want it, hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey! Now wouldn't it be the best if all the answers to our questions came as sheepish realizations, obvious and retrospective? Like the answer for anxiety that's crept into your head is as simple as your printer, you forgot to plug it in. Instead of playing Twister with my lyrics, cause I can, and filling every syllable with lots of bullshit, I instead give you the simple sing-along you're all hoping will come next. Or do I load this mother up and do not do what I do best? So here's my promise, don't aim for flawless, cause some of your best art is made with chalk on your sidewalk. It's gone when you wash it off, it's not made for fame or profits. It's looking back and giving all you got to top it.
Hello everyone. Tazia is absolutely right. Let me mute myself on Twitch so I can't hear myself echoing. I've never done that before. Tazia is absolutely right. Now is your last chance to take a random stab in the dark at what the next animation is going to be. We've been close, I will say, in the piss chord. We haven't nailed it on the head, but I thought someone was going to get it because they tried googling something to do with masks and MBMBaM, and I'm sure if they changed some of the lettering or some of the wording or got rid of one word, I think they probably would have found the clip, which hasn't been animated yet. It's also a bit of a weird one. I'm trying to decide how to display it, because in quite a nice... hold on, I know what I can do. I'm going to bring my person up for a bit. Rafnag is absolutely right. It is the mask bit. Or it's a mask bit. The mask bit, yeah. It was one that ages ago I wanted to animate and didn't really have time for because it's quite a long bit. And yeah, I've had a few art commissions this week, which has kept money ticking over and also not taken up as much time as a full animated commission would normally. So yeah, I gave myself a little extra time. Raf, shall we see? The thing I was going to say is a bit different about this time. Is I've already done a good chunk of it, and I don't want just to show you. It's something like 30 seconds I think I've done so far, and I don't want everyone to. I don't know. I feel like 30 seconds is maybe too much of a preview, and I know some people don't like it being kind of spoiled, I guess. And we're still like 2 weeks away for the Patreon supporters and 3 weeks away for everyone else. Hey, thank you for following CC Kruger, and if I'm not mistaken, that might be Cameron, who, as I was saying earlier, was one of my art commissions last week. It's Monday, last week. yeah, there they are. So yeah, I'm going to hide the screen again, but I'm going to put on the audio just so we can all listen to what we're working with, which is going to be fun. How do I hide myself again? Hold on. I don't think I've got a hotkey for that, so I'm just going to click a button. Oh, and thank you very much for subscribing with Prime as well, Cam. Right, I'm going to turn down bug hunter and I'm going to listen to what we're working with. It is a very funny bit, as it is, so hope you enjoy.
Man, the mask is funny.
Man, it's fucking funny as shit. You know
It's
what I mean?
both funny. You know, it's weird. It's funny to watch, but also funny to talk about.
Yeah, you remember
on
when
your
the dog
podcast.
pees all over that guy because he's wearing the mask and it's like a fucking waterfall? That's a good one. And when he eats the bomb and it explodes in his tummy, he goes, "That's a spicy meatball."
Travis,
You guys remember that?
Travis, do 8 more mask jokes to get us to around 10.
Do you remember when he's there with Ben Stein and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work? So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face style, just like throws himself around for a while.
That's
a pretty good
one.
There's another one where the clock is bouncing around the hallway and he's trying to smash it with a hammer.
That's 2. Jesse, he's going
Fuck,
to do
that's
it.
a good one.
He's going to do it.
And
That's
then
2, Travis. 6 more.
Go on,
6
Trav.
more.
There's the
6
time
more,
where
bud.
he says, "Love is but a red, red rose, and I am a little thorny," and that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Trav. Oh, yeah, bud.
There's another
Oh,
part where the
yeah,
cops
baby.
are frisking him and they're reaching in his pockets, and he says like a little to the left and makes a joke of like it's his penis.
That's 4 more, baby. Travis, you're halfway home. Come on.
And then there's the part where the old lady comes out, like his landlady comes out of her apartment, and she has like a green face mask on, and he's wearing a green mask, and they scream at each other.
Oh,
And that's
God.
pretty good.
He's going to do it. Jesse, he's going to do it.
And there's another part where he's kind of spinning around and
Yeah?
he's turning into the mask, and then he stops and he catches the feather, and he says, "Somebody stop me!"
Okay.
But he says it in like a really funny way.
Yeah, okay, we'll give it to you. 2 more, Trav. Come on, you can do this.
There's a part where the cops come and he tries to run away, and they say freeze, and he turns to ice in midair, and
Oh.
they say put your hands up, and he says, "But you told me to freeze."
Now listen, back in episode 406, Travis got to 9, and this is where he shit the bed. So Travis, we really want to see if you can land the plane. Is there anything? You gotta have at least a little bit more juice in the tank. Come on, bud, get us there.
There's a part where there's the 2 guys who like
Huh?
tried to charge Stanley extra for fixing the car,
Yeah.
and then the mask shoves mufflers up their butts.
Yes.
Yes!
He did it, ladies and gentlemen. He did.
Amazing. Amazing.
Travis.
I just rewatched it last night. So.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a mask and you could just put it on and act a fool?
But
Wait.
not with his zany powers, you're saying.
You're just wearing a mask.
No, but
of the mask.
you pretend that you have his zany powers. I think everybody would get a big kick out of that.
Oh yeah, I think everyone in this day and age, everyone needs that kind of levity.
Yeah, so that is what we're animating over the next week, potentially. I am unsure of how long this is going to take me because it is much longer than my normal animations. So normally, hold on, let me bring up the screen while I think about it. Another start to the stream. Before I forget as well, hi Rebecca Roney, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the insane fan art. I absolutely adore it. I literally immediately as soon as you sent it to me, I just sprinted to my partner. I was like, "You've got to look at this. It's literally been half an hour. Look at this." So that was that didn't help me calm down after that. But thank you very much. Yeah, most animations I do without credits, without kind of end card section. So the bits I actually animate are 2,500 frames maybe, and then this one is about 3,800, so it's a lot more. If I was working at the same kind of speed, this would probably take about 2 weeks, bit under. This is the first animation I'm doing where all of the main cast are fully master controller rigged, which is very exciting for me and probably no one else. But yeah, this it's I don't want to show too much, but like just this. Hold on, I'll show one clip because it's one clip which kind of shows off what I mean well. What I'm figuring out is it's not necessarily like kind of going to be quicker altogether, but it means I can do more things, or I can like mess around with kind of the characters more, I guess. I don't know how to explain it other than just showing you, but normally with like a shot like this, it would be the three of them, one of them's maybe talking, and then some of them might like kind of move slightly. We are now efficient boys, girls, and non-binary pearls. We would normally have these three kind of talking all on the same screen, and they'd barely move, but because I've got all three of them master rigged up, you have Travis talking in the middle, and every time he moves slightly, I've had the kind of effort to have them both moving at the same time. And like that shot, if I did that before, would have taken a couple of hours, or like probably an hour realistically, and it probably took me about 20 minutes or like half an hour today. So yeah, that's not necessarily like saved me time, but it just means I can do more stuff, which is good, and I am very happy about. Like I said, there's not too much that I'm going to show you. Hey, Evil Master Pig. There's not too much I'm going to show you so far, because I don't want to like ruin the animation of it. But one bit I'm very proud of, composition-wise, you look ahead. One thing I'm very proud of composition-wise is a moment where Travis kind of gets thrown onto a stage and then blinded by a spotlight. And I don't know if it's going to load fairly quickly when I re-look at this. But this to me looks very pretty, and having like the shadow in the background, it was a lot of extra work, but I think it just looks really nice. So yeah, that's where we're at. The next shot is this one, and it is essentially going to be showing Justin Griffin in like an empty crowd, as if they're a comedy club, and trying to decide whether to have it like theatre seats or whether to have it a kind of old school, I don't really know how you'd explain it, kind of like jazz club looking, where there's like loads of tables, I guess. So yeah, I'm trying to decide that for this shot. Let me just remember where I was going to take this scene up to.
When he's there with Ben Stein. Ben Stein, he tries to.
I think it was there. I think. So yeah, I've got Travis kind of set up for this one, and unfortunately I've left myself with stuff to draw on the stream, which any regulars will know I don't like doing, but it's too late. So I'm going to crack on with that. Yeah, and another cool thing, and I guess I'm going to show this off in a sec anyway, is I've color-coded the rigs a lot better, a lot more efficient. I know, imagine drawing in your art stream, it's disgusting really. But yeah, one thing that I did before, or certainly in the last one, this is Toon Boom Harmony. This one in particular is premium, which is expensive if I do say so myself. But there's like essentials. I know Mythical Water users, if you know their animations as well. Very, very distressed to find out recently that Mythical Waters just turned 18, which is absolutely horrendous in terms of talent per age. I'm disgusted by someone that young being that talented. But I wish them happy birthday nonetheless. But yeah, that was that was distressing. Yeah, they use Toon Boom essentials. Exactly. I don't think anyone else is, but I've had to deal with that. And there's a middle one as well, which I've not really looked at. I don't know why you'd use it, but either way. Yeah, so something I did before was I basically had all of the character rigs. I mean, before I had no kind of colour coordination. And then on the most recent animation I did, I think it was Karina and Nathan were both red and purple respectively. What I've done this time, and I'm already seeing a difference in, is all of them have the same colour coding except for the top 3 layers, where the kind of spine of the rig is dark green, the head and the face pegs are kind of teal, the face is blue, the kind of rest of the head is white, the one arm is orange and the other arm is pink, the body is purple, the legs and everything else are dark green. What it essentially means is instead of kind of scrolling up, having to look over to the left, figure out where I am, look back to the right, it just already, I can tell it's a lot quicker and a lot nicer. So that is, again, only something I will be excited by, but it is one of the main changes I've had this animation so far. Right, so what do we want to do? We need is master controller. I'm having a couple of issues with master controllers for these rigs because it's the first animation. Thank you, Taja. It's the first animation I've used them in, so there's always going to be teething problems. But on a whole, they've been pretty good. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm not gonna like put it down to a poll, but just out of interest, what does everyone think would look better as like a kind of comedy club? No, because that feels like leading the witness. If Travis is on stage doing stand-up, let's say, do you think they should be in the crowd, like an audience, so it'd be like theatre seats, or do you think they should be at kind of individual tables? And bear in mind that it's going to be empty other than Justin and Griffin. As far as I'm aware, I don't think I'm going to put in the effort to animate a whole crowd. I don't think that's a good idea. But just out of interest, let's say at a bar or at a theatre, what does everyone think would look better for a kind of stand-up? Or what's more readable, I guess, is what I'm always going for. Individual tables is funny, agree with Taja, individuals. Okay, cool. That is fine with me, because I have already got tables as a prop, I think, in here somewhere. Yeah, I've got restaurant tables in my library. This is also something, I can't remember who it was, but in a previous spread out in... Oh, no. Well, now there's a case of both. Let me have a look. Let me just try with the restaurant tables first. Someone asked in a previous stream what was like kind of a turning point in terms of animation, or like kind of what I wished that I did before that I didn't do more recently, and that is saving drawings as props, because that's so like it's so important, and it's not that one. Maybe I didn't save it. Shit. Never mind then. Well, I will not finish that thought, but it's very good to save props. Let's have a think. So I have a back bar prop. Yeah, I think Alien's right about it seeming more improv-y. Let's have a go. Let's do. Because I have more props, I think, for doing a bar, but also would an empty theatre literally just be... Yeah. Yeah. Alien's right. The poll has not been helpful, but that's fine. Like I said, I didn't want it to kind of decide it anyway. Because I've got, like, elements that I can use for a bar like this. But then... Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna yell at myself out loud with the mic off for a second. Enjoy Bug Hunt, I'll also just have a slight breakdown.
Are we
Okay, I'm back. I've reflected. I think I'm going to do a theatre. Thank you for helping me consider. just consider. Coming for the Draw Free Patreon stream to come out in a month so I can see what the beef is all about. It's good beef. It's fun. I'm very excited to animate it. It's for the... Yeah, and it seems and sounds... I've only just come down from the kind of the adrenaline high, but it seems like all of the Drawfee gang more or less watch every animation as soon as they come out on Patreon, which is very, very nice and very sweet. I've just seen the poll. Thank you very much for for voting me the winner in that. It's very exciting, and it is again going to be a very long animation. Like all of the content of them talking about it and talking about me, which was again very overwhelming, was something like 5 minutes, and I ended up cutting out like a minute of it just from like gaps, because it's like a live stream rather than an episode, so there were just gaps in them talking anyway. And there was like one bit that didn't really kind of fit in any kind of narrative that I could come up with, but beyond that I couldn't bring myself to get rid of any more, so the animation is going to be about 3.5 minutes, I think. So yeah, that's exciting. Jacob did have a lot of shit to say. It was very cool of him to be so angry for my first Patreon stream. It was very accidentally good of Alien, and also very illegal, and you're going to jail. But anyway, what am I doing? I'm going to draw one theatre seat. I'm just going to draw one. And it's really not going to be that detailed. It doesn't need to be, because it's going to be dark anyway. Yeah, I've already got a very good idea of what... Well, like, I say very good idea, that's bollocks. I'd never have a very good idea. I have a decent idea already of what the animation's going to look like. I've already got some kind of set pieces in mind that I'd like to be in there, and I've already kind of listened to the audio thousands of times enough to kind of figure out where certain bits, certain jokes are going to kind of fit in. I should say as well, and I don't know if anyone's already clocked this or kind of put 2 and 2 together from the Discord. Hey, Speaks of Animals, nice to see you. On the weekend, I went to see My Chemical Romance, which was also very good. And unfortunately, that meant I did quite a lot of yelling. Excited fangirling in the crowd. So my throat is a little bit wrecked. I didn't think I'd like notice it, or I didn't think it would kind of come across on stream until I realized I think I explained that whole Jacob beef thing in vocal fry. Cool. So yeah, that is why my voice is a little bit let's say hoarse. But yeah, it was a very, very good gig. I made like a tweet about it that I didn't really have like an emo arc. I don't know why I used that word. I didn't have like an emo phase as a teenager, but my partner certainly did, and I liked my chem, but not. She did very much enjoy the concert, and she also she's embarrassed but loves the fact that she is being referred to lovingly as Ball Twister by the community. Yeah, it was I can't remember what I was saying, but it was very good. I liked my chem before, but didn't really like kind of obsess over them. And then as soon as like back in 2019, I think they announced they were going on tour, I obviously knew that I had to take the other half to see that. And I had, it turns out, like 2.5 years to figure it out and kind of learn all their songs, and I did, and I am now very much in love with Gerard Way, so that was fun. So yeah, that's why my voice is a little bit hoarse. Spelled with an A. Not divorce horse. Horse divorce. So yeah. I'm trying to figure out if I need to draw. I think I'm just gonna do this very like. I'm spending so much time drawing this, and I don't need to. I'm just gonna do a very rough kind of theatre seat, and then decide from there if I need to actually put any more detail into it. As soon as we finished recording that stream where she was at the end, and yes, as everyone is lovingly saying, threatened to I can't remember exactly what she said, but threatened to attack people who said they had a black belt. We listened to it back and she went, "Oh my god, I didn't think it would be that like that hearable. I didn't think it would be that audible. I was so sure that like it was just going to be like way in the background, and it was not, which was very fun." There's been a couple of colour names, so let's add these on to here. Cool. So we have small dog. I might have missed something in the chat as to why we've gone for small dog, but I like it. Maybe there was a small dog in the background. Oh god, Taji's already clipping me. Oh no, that's fine. It's a previous clip. That's okay. Thank you, Taji. And then we have ball twister in parentheses. Affectionate. Lovely. Thank you very much for that, Raph. That's okay. Lovely. That's what she threatened to do then. It does sound very 2000s. Piss Boy and Ball Twister. Who was there was like a Nickelodeon show that was like 3D way before 3D animation should have been a thing, and it was Something Boy. I don't think I ever watched it. I can't have watched it because I don't remember it at all, but it was Something Boy and something. And there were like two little kids dressed up as heroes. And as long as this doesn't offend anyone, I hope they don't mind me saying, it was quite ugly. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please let me know. Cool, great. And let's say the gold little badge. Fanboy and Chum Chum is exactly what I was talking about. Thank you, Rebecca Roney. Terrifying. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I never watched it, so I can't comment on the writing. But it looked horrendous. Like, even like I don't know if I've ever said this. I never intended to like get into animation. I didn't really like art as a kid. I liked music. Like, I played a lot of Little Big Planet, so I always thought I was quite creative. But I only really took up animation to kill time in uni. Yeah, I don't think this was like telling, but even back then I wouldn't watch anything animated that like didn't look right. It didn't look aesthetically pleasing. Like, I don't want to say that I didn't watch stuff that like looked gross, because I really liked Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which definitely lent into like gross out animation at times. But if it just looked bad, little 8-year-old me was just like, no, this isn't for me. Can we watch something beautiful, please, Papa? Okay, let's just see how these look. Yeah, I never actually watched Avatar as a kid. Me and the other half watched it not very long ago, I think, like in the last year. I think we lived at the current place I'm living at. It's very good. I don't know if I would have really enjoyed it that much back then. Like, it wasn't like explicitly brightly coloured. like I didn't really watch anime. There wasn't much to watch, obviously, on kind of Sky TV we had sometimes as a young'un. I can't remember where I was going, but yeah, like the only anime I think I ever watched was like Pokemon. It was usually on Cartoon Network, and One Piece as well. I didn't watch a lot of One Piece as a kid. The main reason I watched One Piece is for the 4Kids opening. If anyone knows, I don't know if that's going to be only I don't know if 4Kids is like just a UK thing or also American as well. I guess it's just any kind of Western version of it. But like the opening to One Piece, absolutely outstanding. Like beautiful, beautiful music. So that's what I mainly watched that for. I think I remember usually watching One Piece for like the first like minute, and then realizing that it wasn't as good as the intro, and then just stopping from there. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Hold on, let me just delete this and gather my thoughts. How many layers do I want? Okay, let's move this back like that. Let's have one in front. Like that. And then let's start layering them. Like that. Yeah, I'm happy with this actually. Going back to my issue of whether I should do it as a theatre or a bar, I quite like this look, so lovely. Famously did a good program. Yeah, I watched a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Not like a great deal. I remember being angry as a little furious 10-year-old or however old I was when Yu-Gi-Oh GX came out, just because I didn't like that it didn't have Yu-Gi in it anymore, so I just stopped watching it. Yeah. Right, what do I need to do? I need to move Travis back, because he's getting cut up by the theatre at the minute. How blurred are they going to be at that stage? Let's have one more in front, I think. That should take it more or less to the bottom. Okay, cool. Let's... Whoops, I'll do that. Okay, no, I do need another one, I think. But I can probably do that on the same layer. So we'll do that. Does that look right? Does it look like it's bending? I think that's fine. There's obviously that issue there. Let's get the master controllers as well. Is this all one line? Whoops, done something. Oh yeah, and another interesting thing to me. Welcome to my TED Talk, where I tell you all about the things that I explicitly don't think are going to be interesting to you. Another fun thing that I did recently, either on Friday or over the weekend, was I did a bit more programming, a bit more coding. So something that I have to do quite a lot is morphing. So this is actually what I used to figure it out. So something I do quite a lot in Toon Boom is morphing, where basically Toon Boom itself automatically changes one shape into another, or kind of Raf, I know you're into your programming, so you're going to hate this. It's auto hotkey. I've got two friends that are programmers, very professionally, and are very happy to make fun of me for it, but it's very easy. Sorry, and you, Lou. Yeah, it's auto hotkey, so it's nothing intelligent, but it's very accessible. It's not like a programming language. It's literally just like some kind of software platform, I guess. You write it in Notepad and then scripting. Sorry, that's what I mean. So something I had to do quite a lot is morphing, where basically you turn one drawing into another. So say I wanted this circle to get thinner like this. This isn't actually the best way of doing it. Actually, for a better example, let's say I wanted to do that. What I would have to do is select the bit that I want to morph, right-click it. I'd have to click morphing, I'd have to create the morphing, I'd then have to go to the morphing tool, I'd have to go up here, scroll down, and then I'd have to move the ease to 0.8 on both of these, and then go back, and then that, as you go through the frames, you can see switches from one drawing to another. And the reason why you do that is to kind of ease it in and ease it out, so it looks a bit smoother. I always do 0.8 for most easing. And then what I did, I'm very proud of this, is all you have to do is select it now, and if I just click one combination of buttons, it does it for me in half a second. So I hope you didn't blink, but I'm very, very proud of doing that. So yeah, that is, again, something that I did that I'm very proud of myself for. Right, let's figure out what else I need to do. Yeah, I've got friends that have been coders or programmers for, I should say software engineers. That's the only one that I know is definitely right. They're definitely software engineers, and yeah, they mainly just get to forums if they need if they need help. Right, how do I want to do this? Do I want it to kind of go all the way back up, or do I want it to kind of have lighting rig at the top or something like that? I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it as that. I'm gonna do that.
I didn't listen to my mom, but that's the thing when you're a kid. You don't know what you don't know when you begin. If I've learned anything that I could sing, that I could pass along, be good and
let's make this all one. Let's make this all one layer to make life easy for myself. Yeah, there's a weird kind of overlap, I feel like, with programming and animating, even if it wasn't me just trying to script kind of hotkeys into the process. There's just quite a lot of, oh no, I don't like that. Maybe it's just because it's not lined up. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of animation that is just kind of repeating certain processes. So there is a little bit of mental overlap with that, I guess. Okay, does that look good? It doesn't look like they're wide enough, maybe. What do I think? If I... See, what I want to do, but I don't think I can, is to kind of use a perspective tool to move them all at the same time. I can! Hey! Lovely. Right, well I will do that then, and then that might look better. It might also crash my computer, so if the stream stops, I'm sorry. I also don't want... Oh yeah, no, I like that now. That looks better. Okay, cool, lovely. And then I'm going to make them a bit wider as well to kind of fill in the gap at the top, right? Okay, lovely. Does it look good? Oh, I'm so unsure. Let's just move it a little bit. I'm going to leave it as is for now. And I might decide later that I don't like it, but for the time being, I think this is fine. I say very hesitantly. Oh yeah, one thing I should say, and that Siren has just reminded me. The building I live in has a fire alarm on Mondays, and I know you've heard it before on stream. It tends to go off twice on Mondays, and it's gone off, I think, only once today. So if at some point there's like a very loud siren, yep, I will obviously mute the microphone as quickly as possible, but I apologise if that happens at any point. That's one thing I've heard that you're supposed to do if you're hosting a stream on Twitch, is warn people that at some point there might be an incredibly loud siren happen. Thank you for being here, everyone. Yeah, right. Let's figure out what I'm doing. So I need to blur these, I think, in some way or another. I'm going to blur Travis as well. And then that way I can use his blur Gaussian and just kind of duplicate that one over. I'd be interested to see what a deep blue ink stream bingo card looks like. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe a little bit less than that, but that looks about right. Cool, yeah, happy with that. Let's put this up a little bit more. Right, okay, so I would like to blur some of these seats as well. Oh yeah, another thing I learned as well is that button does things. Very much still trying to learn as frequently as I can with this software. Sorry about the siren. This is getting a bit messy, but it might be fine. Okay, that might be fine. Nope, like that. Let's figure out. That one maybe? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that looks right. Can everyone just confirm that the blur on the hey Tigrola, can everyone just confirm that the blur on the seats looks good? Like, kind of gives it the right amount of depth and doesn't look too digital, I guess is the thing I'm usually trying to stay away from with this. Cool, lovely, I will take that. Thank you very much, Will. Okay, right, so let's bring in Griffin. Let's find a better starting position. Shouldn't really matter now that I've got the master controller actually, so we'll use that one. Beep. It does look funny, Tazi's right. I think we made the right choice. Massive Griffin, cool. We're gonna leave that like that actually, because I've decided that's funny. I'm not gonna give any context for it. That's not true. You know me, guys. Is Griffin getting bigger? See, the problem is I normally use, they've got like shadows at their feet. I normally use their shadows to make sure that they're the right size, kind of in comparison to each other. So let's do that. Yeah, that's about the right size. I mean, this kind of like little ellipse. Why did I say that? Oval. At the bottom. I'm not leaving it a little big. I'm sorry, Tigrola. If I do that, like the comment section's just gonna be insane. Could put Griffin closer to the stage. It's kind of. I don't know if I like. I mean, for a start with the layers, I think it would have to be like down here. Oh, maybe that's good actually. I think the blur might be wrong now, but I do like that actually. Yeah, no, I think I like that actually. Thank you, Taja. I might need to change a little bit of the blur though. Which one's which? Okay, that one. Oh, that's all. Right, I might need to, because at the moment this shouldn't be this blurred and it's right. No, Taja, please, honestly, if I didn't think it's a good idea, I'd quite happily politely say, oh, maybe I'll do that. Right, so that one is blurred, isn't it? Yeah, that doesn't really need to be blurred anymore, I don't think. So let's delete that. Lovely. I'll tell you what I could do. Make life even easier for myself. Let's just duplicate that. And then move this one further down. So if I do put that there-ish. Blue. Oh. Okay, that looks like it's in the right position. Move that in front of it, and then move this one in front of that. No, that needs to be bigger now. How's that? Yes. I think that's fine. That doesn't line up quite right for the very front. So let's fix that. Still a little bit off, I think. Same with this one actually, just a little bit. How's that? Yeah, that looks right. Cool, lovely. 1 second. Hey, thank you very much for saying that, Tigrola. It's something that I don't really think about. That sounded way more like I was trying to be like, it just comes naturally to me. I didn't mean it like that. I meant like I don't think of my drawings as a style in any way. It's just kind of, someone said something about like art style is just kind of what looks good and is lazy or something like that. It might have been Drawfee, it might have just been somewhere on Twitter, but that general idea is something I quite like. I feel like I've just done a load of work and then not actually made any difference, because that shouldn't be blurred in front of him, I don't think. It's certainly less blurred than it was. What have I done? What am I trying to do? Where am I? Jazz theory, baby. Okay. Where does it stop being blurred? So it's not blurred. There's 4 layers that shouldn't be blurred. I think. Oh god, hold on. I've confused myself now. Right. Right, okay. So, these, well, nope. Oh god. These are not blurred at the minute, which is right. I think it's fine. I'm overthinking it. It's fine. Yeah. I think I'm overthinking it. I think it looks fine as it is, so I'm just going to leave it before I fuck it up. Right. Those can be bunched up like that, and then everything behind as well can be bunched up, just to keep it all looking nice and neat. And as well, I should be able to put them in peg layers without it having an issue. Cool. Just did a load of work and didn't make a ton of difference. That's art, baby. Thank you, Quill, for the for the excellent opener. Right. Okay, right, let's stop messing with that, because I want to. I'm not going to. Okay, so we're going to use the master controller now. Don't need to worry about his... well, we need to worry about his shoulders a bit, because they are just about visible. So we'll bring both of these on. And, oh, are we going to spend like 10 minutes moving all the layers? Oh, we fuck. Easy. I'm very happy with these master controllers at the minute. There's still some teething problems. I think is the kind of stem hair bits that he has at the back of his head, I think should show a little bit more than they do at the minute. But that's not too much of an issue, I don't think. And I'm not going to fix it in this animation, so we'll deal with it. His head looks a little bit ovular. I don't know if that's a word, but it doesn't quite look round for some reason, which I'm sure is fine. It is witchcraft. Don't let anyone tell you it's animation. Excuse the siren again. It's a busy day where I am, apparently. I'll keep an eye out for the news. Okay, right. So we can extend that. I don't know if I need to make it look a little bit darker in the theatre. I don't know if I need to drop some filters on it, but we will worry about that in a second. Lovely. Just out of interest, by the way, how many people, show of hands, how many people come to this stream through like the Twitter link that I put out? Because I don't know, the thing that I definitely never want to do is kind of spam links, and I tend to on Twitter, because I presume if people are following me on Twitter they don't mind that kind of thing, especially from artists. Like any artist I see do the same, but I certainly don't do it on YouTube. Yeah, a poll works. I like the flames of creativity. Unfortunately, I think it's just flames. But yeah, if anyone could let me know if they come here via Twitter, just to justify it in my mind, whether I should keep putting them out. Tarzia, I fucking love comedy. Right.
When he's there with...
So they don't actually need to do anything. I think I'm going to do my normal thing of having Justin smiling at a bit. Cool. Sorry, I'm looking at the poll as well. Yeah, I'm going to have like Justin enjoying the bit, because Justin tends to like break character and laugh more often than Griffin does. So let's do that. So I don't know if anyone noticed, but me finding the eyes on Justin. Oh, easy. Having to look over to the left where all the labels are? Disgusting. Absolutely not. I wouldn't dare. Using colour coordination? Yes, please. Yeah, I think having like Griffin deadpan is fun. Is nice for me. Yeah, I think the poll kind of looks more or less how I expected it. Can you add, is it too late to add an option for, it's my stream? Cool. Okay, cool. I may or may not stop putting out Twitter notifications, I guess is the short and skinny of that then. I think, like people have said, if if they're the kind of regular that wants to come to these, they'd probably follow on Twitch and just get notification anyway.
When he's there with
give him more of a cute little deadpan face rather than him looking kind of mad, I think. Whoops, T-posing. Cool. Maybe like slightly furrowed brow as well. Just to annoy at least one person. Let's move his eyes about as well.
when he's there with
And then just to make it look a little bit more awkward, I'm gonna have Griffin look over to see. Oh, no, just look away.
when he's there with
And then I think I'm gonna have Justin kind of like tense up, I guess. I don't really know. I always say kind of like contract. I think always adds like a fun bit of flavour. Shoulders. I can't stop gushing over the fact that I've literally just like colour coordinated some of the layers and how much difference it makes mentally.
when he's there with
Okay, that doesn't quite look right yet, so let's move his head down a little bit and then hold him down a smidge. That's the wrong one. I will learn all of the colours at some point.
when he's there with
Cool, and then I think I need to have Travis do in bits. Just give me 1 second.
If I close my eyes, I am practically there with my dad on the couch and my mom in her old rocking chair.
Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. I promise I didn't intentionally ignore the shade being thrown at me for calling it my stream. Yeah. That's probably fair from Quill as well. I think that's fair. Like, I don't think it's a particularly invasive post. I think at the end of the day, if people get annoyed by it, they can always, I don't want to say it in a way that sounds salty, but like genuinely people can unfollow me if they want. Like, I'm not doing anything particularly important on Twitter other than starting fights on Jacob, so I think that's probably the way to do it. I believe there was a way to link your Twitch with your Twitter where it automatically sends out a tweet. Yeah, it's not so much about not wanting to think about it, it's more just not wanting to spam. I think like sometimes I just won't put out Twitter posts, tweets even, intentionally. But at any rate, what am I doing?
when he's when
Okay, let's bring up his shoulders when he starts there. There, I think. Do. What I'm going to do as well is get rid of the shadow just for the preview. Starting fights with Jacob is important, it turns out. Again, just like a fun little peek behind the curtains from me is when Jacob said, for anyone that was there or wasn't there, more importantly I guess, Jacob during his rant, or at the end of the rant, after he threatened to beat my ass, Jacob said, I hope everyone goes onto the Yogi video when it comes out and says, out of respect for Jacob, I will be abstaining from watching this video. And then like they all very kindly like made a joke about, but also like engaging with it and sharing it, something like that, to like, I don't know, clearly make sure it didn't sound mean-spirited. But as soon as he said that, I think I got like 4 or 5 different comments of people saying, out of respect for Jacob, I'm abstaining from watching this. I can't remember if I shared this in the Discord, but my favourite one was someone commented on, I think, the post for the Yogi one, out of respect for Jacob, I am abstaining from watching this video, and then proceeded to leave a very nice comment on literally every other Drawfee animation I'd made. Clearly covering all bases, but it was very sweet to see. And also, after that whole stream, that whole ordeal of being maliciously attacked by Jacob, I think I got like 6 new Patreon supporters who clearly wanted to see the Yogi video, or just, I don't know, were inspired by the interaction. So yeah, it was a very nice thing they did, and I can't wait to exploit it through an animation.
When he's there with when he
Okay, let's try and make it look like he's looking up. I need to do something with his ear, but when it's this angle, I'm not quite sure which one makes more sense. And I think maybe if I move his face up as well. Move his shoulders back down. Yeah, all in all, I think deciding to support deciding to support Drawfee on Patreon for like the first time for some reason. I don't know, it didn't feel like I could afford it before, but yeah, I think it was probably worth the £4 for that for that experience.
When he's there with
Okay, that looks good. Jacob did pay me in exposure. God damn, it worked. I'll take it this time. So far, yeah. I don't think I'd be surprised if like every single Patreon stream they do now, they're like, okay, let's just have our like 5 minutes of attacking Deep Blue Ink, and then we'll get back to it. Okay. I can only imagine this is going to be a one-off. I really don't want to push it, but it was still very sweet and very very helpful for me, let's say.
When he's there with Okay, I'm
going to move his head a little bit when I think he stumbles on something, maybe.
He's there with
It needs to be a bit earlier. Okay, and then let's forward and back in that position. The whole exposure thing is actually an interesting conundrum these days. Platforming can be such a powerful boon, but also capitalism. Yeah, it's one of these where it's massively down to context, and it's like exposure is like a fantastic, like you say, a fantastic boon, a fantastic kind of. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not compensation. You shouldn't ever really be paid in exposure. But exposure is a very useful thing. Like, I would never explicitly work for something just for it to kind of... I mean, that's also not true, because, like... Well, no, it is true. I don't know. You shouldn't be paid in exposure, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. But at the same time, it's good.
When he's there with
just make sure that the shading on the back of his head didn't get lost anywhere in the movements. Yeah, exposure is a nice bonus, but also it can be like explicitly the only thing you gain from an interaction, as long as the interaction wasn't started because you were promised it. What I mean is, like, if Jacob, for example, shared my post, which he does fairly frequently, or like retweets it, or if Nathan likes a thing, or anyone from Drawfee likes a post that I make or shares a post that I make, that's an incredibly good and kind thing. But I didn't work for that exposure. Like, I didn't do something explicitly for them to do that. They didn't say, hey, will you make this animation, so we'll share it, and then that way we get something, you get something. In that situation, exposure's great. If they said, hey, Deep Blue Ink, we really like your animations, can you make this specific bit and then we'll tweet it? Like, absolutely not. That's just not a thing. But I'm going to leave it there because I don't have like a speech prepared, but yeah. Exposure as a word shouldn't be associated with negative things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Exposure is good. Creating exposure for someone is good. Paying for someone explicitly in only exposure is bad. In, I think, 99.9% of the situation. Hey, Mythical. I hope you don't mind, but I told everyone recently that, if I say recently, earlier in the stream, that it was your birthday recently. And also how angry we all are that you're so talented and so young. So, welcome welcome to that that light mob you've come into. Okay, let's have a listen to the next section.
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face style, just like throws himself around for a while.
That's one.
Okay, so the you're welcome, Mythical. The thing I think everyone agrees, like, the right thing about this audio is Griffin. Like, Travis is fantastic in it. It's MBMBaM are great at having like deadpan moments with really good like outward. I don't know how I'm trying to say it. Griffin is very funny in this. Travis absolutely like creates that environment where he can make this humor. MBMBaM's very good. But
Around for a while.
That's one.
but all the kind of big laugh moments come from Griffin, I think,
While.
apart from at the end.
While.
Okay, so let's end it there.
While.
Cool. Yeah, one thing that I'm concerned about with this animation is if I'm going to have to like start animating kind of moments from the mask, and I have seen it as a kid, but not recently, or whether I'm just going to have Travis kind of like reenacting it or kind of recreating it throughout the whole time. As per, I've not really thought about it. I've not really planned ahead. I definitely haven't done any storyboarding for it. So we're gonna see what happens. I think at the minute I have puppets in mind. Again, I love using a good puppet in animation. So that might happen again. Oh, hold on. There's a couple of things I missed in the chat. I feel like you took this idea of don't pay me solely exposure, and now in your head is some sort of long logic gate-filled algorithm. Quill, that's probably not wrong. That's probably how I deal with most things, generally. It's gonna be influencer exposure thing so frustrating. Hey, I want to go to your restaurant and give you exposure by first of social media at X followers. Want to put something up? Follow the restaurant owner? No. Yeah, one thing that I always think is like dumb and funny is kind of how corporations treat like kind of impressions online. And like I know that my kind of job is funded by it in kind of terms of YouTube adverts and stuff like that. The fact that like people who work in PR will often have like goals where it's like, we want you to get this advert seen by like 30,000 people. And if it does that, fantastic. And like, it doesn't matter whether it's good or not. It's just that kind of whether X number of people have seen it. And that is like most obvious on TikTok. If anyone's seen like corporate TikTok things where you'll see people like, oh my God, like this company's got like hundreds of thousands of likes on all of their tweets, and then like no one wants to deal with them at all. I saw one recently, I think it was Liongate, did like a really funny TikTok that was just like, it was literally clearly just like whoever runs their TikTok account just having a laugh. And it was a funny TikTok. But you can tell that they would have got like really praised for having like 300,000 people or like millions of people see this TikTok. But like, who's gonna be like, oh, I'll pay Liongate, the people who make films, more? I'm gonna see a Liongate film because of this? I don't know. It's just getting weird, I think, in terms of kind of corporate ads. I'm also enjoying Twitter-sponsored adverts. Really getting a bad idea of who I am in terms of demographics, and seeing I'm a white bloke in his 20s, and they're like, oh, this guy probably wants to see an advert about joining the army, right? No. Duolingo has an absolutely fantastic TikTok account, and I think the fact that Duolingo is like a free app and they make their money in other ways, I think it works for Duolingo. And I have nothing but respect for the Duolingo bird. But like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to join the army. I'm so sick of going onto army adverts just to look at the comments, to see people posting Begone Thought brand apps or whatever it is. It's very fun, but right. Let's
Ben Stein.
figure out what I need to do.
And Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face style, just like throws himself around for a while.
So the problem is, I have to kind of make a decision fairly soon, and I might actually like more or less end the stream here because of this, or just like stop animating in the stream because of this. I need to decide more or less now how I'm going to deal with him telling these 8 different anecdotes from The Mask. I've done a decent amount of work today. Like, I've done like 650 frames, I think, which is kind of what I need to do daily for about a week to kind of get this out at a decent time. I'm just gonna be a massive pain and listen to this in front of you all, if you don't mind, because I need to figure out if I can, like, because when I first like heard this bit, and the way I was gonna tell it, Hank Green's very good at dissecting social media. He did a video about how TikTok pays people a while ago that was really good. When I first heard this bit, the way I kind of envisioned it is it was basically just going to be Travis on a screen recounting these things, similarly to the podcast, with like more or less no visual gags, just the camera very slowly panning in on him, like anytime he's talking. And that literally being it, because it all kind of builds to this one punchline at the end where he says, I just watched it yesterday. And I don't know whether that's funny or if people are going to think that's a cop-out. Because in terms of animation, obviously that's very easy. That's me just doing his lip sync and his facial expressions for like 2 minutes of animation, and that's it. But I just don't want it to come across as cheap. And like, I know it's like already, it's always kind of basic animation what I do, but there's usually like visual gags. I'm just going to have a listen to this. I'm going to mute myself and just listen to it and see if it works like that, or if I need to kind of have constant visual gags going. And if I do, how I'm going to do that, because I don't want to draw like a photorealistic The Mask character rig. That's the thing, I might need to do like a character rig for the Jim Carrey and The Mask. I don't know. I'm gonna leave you to it for a sec.
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face style, just like throws himself around for a while.
That's one.
There's another one where the clock is bouncing around the hallway and he's trying to smash it with a hammer.
That's 2. Justin, he's gonna
Fuck,
do
that's
it.
a good one.
He's gonna do it.
then
That's 2,
there's-
Travis. 6 more.
Go on,
6
Trav.
more.
There's the
6
time
more,
where
bud.
he says, "Love is but a red, red rose, and I am a little thorny," and that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Trav. Oh yeah, bud.
There's another
Oh,
part where the
yeah,
cops
baby.
are frisking him and they're reaching in his pockets, and he says like a little to the left and makes a joke, or like it's his penis.
That's 4 more, baby. Travis, you're halfway home. Come on.
And then there's the part where the old lady comes out, like his landlady comes out of her apartment, and she has like a green face mask on, and he's wearing a green mask, and they scream at each other.
Oh,
and that's
God.
pretty good.
He's gonna do it. Justin, he's gonna do it.
There's another part where he's kind of spinning around and
Yeah?
he's turning into the mask, and then he stops and he catches the feather, and he says, "Somebody stop me!"
Okay.
But he says it in like a really funny way.
Yeah, okay, we'll give it to you. 2 more, Trav. Come on, you can do this.
There's a part where the cops come and he tries to run away, and they say freeze, and he turns to ice in midair, and
Oh.
they say put your hands up, and he says, "But you told me to freeze."
Now listen, back in episode 406, Travis got to 9, and this is where he shit the bed. So Travis,
Okay, I've made a decision. I don't know if it's a good decision yet, but I've made it, so it's too late. I am, for a lot of it, just gonna have him telling it deadpan, because I think that's what makes it funny. I think the fact that Travis sounds almost like reluctant to say this is kind of part of the humor, and I think just kind of throwing in loads of visual gags isn't gonna work. The kind of way I'm gonna make it more visually interesting than just having him stood in front of a microphone talking the whole time is after like 4 examples. So I think in terms of audio it sounded right when he talked about the old lady in the green mask. Is like suddenly it will cut to Griffin and Justin, and it will cut back, and suddenly he'll have like a full presentation, like a Charlie Day in Always Sunny, like I can't remember what it's called. Carol, that one. I think like adding bits in like that is going to make it more funny. I think having him reenact the moment is going to be a fucking nightmare for me. But I think it's kind of more funny to have that kind of reluctance in his voice kind of transfer, because it by the end, like that big punchline of him in a deadpan voice saying, "Well, I just saw her yesterday," I think that's going to be ruined if he looks excited throughout the whole thing. Like he can still look like energetic, and like there can still be emotion in his voice. When you do Somebody Stop Me, you do have the face. Yeah, I mean like yeah, that as well. Like that's what I was thinking. So like as well as having like the kind of post-it notes up, having like a whiteboard would work, and like having him drawing out like you know when detectives have like all of those kind of pictures with red string connecting them, stuff like that. I think that works better, and it kind of lends itself more to the audio than just recreating the mask, essentially. And like it might be that kind of one shot it shows the conspiracy boards, exactly me, that's exactly what I meant, and then another one it shows him writing and drawing something beautifully on a whiteboard, might be funny, and then a third one maybe it's like a projector and it is literally just like him playing a clip of the mask. I'm sure I can find one of the bits he talks about as he's describing it. I think that makes more sense. A PowerPoint presentation as well might be funny, honestly, Taja. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's probably the way I'm going to go with it. I think I'm going to lean into the deadpan, essentially, is what I'm going to do. What that does mean is it's going to look at the start. Sock puppets as well, definitely. At some point there will be sock puppets. And I did like a PowerPoint presentation in the Critical Data Commission I did a few months ago, and that one worked quite well. Yeah, maybe even at some point as well, like he just joins them in the audience and the stage is just them watching the film, maybe. I don't know, that's funny to me. I don't know if I like sock puppet with hyper-realistic mask face. But maybe that's the point. The puppets are good. I know the puppets are good. I'd still, to this day, one of my favourite animations is that I've done is the 99-cent margarita one. And that was an audio suggested by Noah Lieberman, one of my Patreon supporters, and that was a very, very good suggestion he made.
Ben Stein.
Maybe we'll do more sock puppets. We'll have a look. But I think for this first one, it's just going to be him looking nervous. I like the idea of it suddenly turning into a Let's Play speak. That's quite a nice idea. Yeah, I like that as well. See, there are lots of really good ideas here, and I think all of them being ideas that aren't just recreating the film is comforting to me. It's encouraging to know that you all think these are funny ideas as well. Cool. Okay, lovely. Right, let's listen to this one, see if I need to do anything this time, or if this should be just him by himself to begin with. Which
Ben
makes sense to me.
Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face style, just like throws himself around for a while.
I think this first one, it should be him with no props, but kind of, when he says throwing himself around, he should kind of half-heartedly throw himself around as well, and have this kind of nervous face the whole time as if he is doing stand-up that he knows isn't working. And then more props as we go through. Sock puppets are always funny, it turns out. I was very, very pleased of how that animation first turned out, and I have used them a couple of times since. Once with the Ted Cruz animation and once with the Family Curse one.
Ben Stein. Ben.
Okay. Right, let's do this. I am at some point going to have to run. I don't know when. So at some point I might just say, hey, thanks for joining. Bye. I will try and give you a bit more notice than that, but just a brief heads up. Okay.
Ben Stein. Ben Stein.
Hands up if life is getting stressful, and shout if you are saddened by the news. I need some tips to cope, some data or some anecdotes, 'cause right now I'm working for my blues.
Yeah, I'd quite like to do all of my animations again, but just sock puppets. Maybe not even animated, just like, if I can get like, that's the thing, there's so many times that I've wanted to like, just do like a really brief, dumb stop motion joke, but I know for a fact I've not got a good enough camera to do it, and I don't want to spend the money to get a good enough one. And I don't know anyone nearby that has one that I can just be like, hey, can I just borrow this for a really dumb joke? Hey, Neutral Games, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime again. That is very, very useful. Very nice. Definitely an April Fool's idea. That is definitely something that I might do. But yeah, I don't know. There's been times where I've thought like I could easily make like a griffin out of like blue tack. But yeah, I don't want to upload like a 144p quality video on the channel ideally.
Ben Stein.
I'm sure there's someone I could commission as well that would make a good sock puppet if I couldn't.
Ben Stein. Ben Stein. Ben Stein. Stein.
Gonna raise his shoulders a bit. Ben Stein.
Stein. Stein. Stein, and he Stein.
Ever watch Noodle? Yeah, I really like Noodle. I can't remember if it was Game Grumps or Only Plays that I first knew his stuff. This is anime stuff. Like doodles and cardboard. Yeah, there's someone else that does. I can't remember their name. It's like 2B or something like that. Who did and only plays animation. Who did really good kind of cardboard on sticks animations. It being in shit resolution like might be fun. It might. It just might be bad. If it like looks good but is bad, it's forgivable. If it looks bad and is bad, then no one's gonna like it.
Ben Stein, and he tried. And he tries to put the mask. And he tries to put the mask on, but Ben Stein and Ben Stein.
Something about that looks too mechanical to me, but I'm not sure why. Hold on, I'm just gonna like look at myself in a mirror. I think maybe he's tilting his head too much. Just like a little bit. Wait, who deleted their art? Oh no, oh Raph. Oh no. Okay, well I'm sorry you deleted your art.
Stein.
Yeah, that looks bad to me. Okay, I'm gonna bring his eyebrows in as well. Do I want to have his eyes wiggle the whole time? Yes. Let's have a look. See what it looks like. Oh, this bit does go on for a while actually.
Ben Stein, and he tries to.
Oh, I've done it on the wrong one, that's why. Okay, cool. When did I do that? Wait, when did I do that? Confusing. We're done. Okay, cool. Damn right, I wiggles incoming. I wiggle comments incoming. Let them. I will take them all on.
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. Tries to put the mask.
I think they're necessary. Thank you very much, Taja. Let's add eye wiggles in there. Oop. Where did he do that? What? I haven't. Is that the Son of the Mask? Because I haven't seen it. I did Google the mask today, trying to decide if it was worth trying to like kind of add any Easter eggs, and it looks fucking. It looks both terrifying and also bad. Could they like not afford Jim Carrey for the second one? Is that what happened? Or
Ben Stein.
I don't really have any context for it, but it doesn't look like him. I'm presuming that's why it's Son of Mask, where it's like they got someone who wanted to be the next Jim Carrey.
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't. It's gone, but it doesn't work. So Jim, but it doesn't work. But it doesn't. he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey. But it doesn't work. So Jim.
I'm just gonna, because I feel like he's not moving his head very much, I'm just gonna have him kind of look like he's changing his attention from one of the brothers to the other.
Maintains my breathing, blood flow and sleep. Won't lift my feet, break my routine. So left foot, right foot, same way around.
Let's see if that looked like it was worth doing.
On, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey in like his. It doesn't work. So Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. Jim.
Our story's just okay. I'll set your expectations in the middle when I say hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. And knock me down a peg when I wanna be.
So Jim Carrey in like.
Is his mustache supposed to move when his head does? I guess so.
For example, I got cornered by
Yeah, the rig's not perfect yet, but even so.
So Jim Carrey in like. So Jim Carrey in. Jim Carrey in like his. In. In like.
This always happens. Normally, when I'm like working on a very slim bit of audio, people like will put it in the chat and they'll say like, I can't remember what it was, but something that I was working on in the Yogi video, people kept like putting it in the chat and I couldn't figure out why. And I think I've realized that whenever I do animations, I just like completely block out what they're actually talking about. Like I hear the cadence, I guess, like enough to animate it, but I really don't like over focus on like everything they're saying. And like without a doubt, this song I remember the words lyric for like absolutely word for word for having worked on it for like 5 weeks, whatever I did at the time. Like Ben Stein is an obvious example because like this is the only context I know his name really. But
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey in like his classic rubber, in like his class.
let's go from there. Kind of bunch him in a bit again, I think. Yeah, I think Mythical's nailed it there. Which can sometimes be useful. I think maybe it's something that's like happened over time. Maybe I didn't always kind of black out when I did these, but I'm kind of glad that I do. Especially working on music videos, because I absolutely love Bug's music. I wouldn't put it on out of politeness in these streams. But if I didn't like his music and had to listen to it, I mean like 8 hours a day for 3 weeks or whatever, I think I would go insane. There was something, wasn't there, Alien? I'm sure there was something in particular that people kept saying back. It might have been a different one. Speaking of which, another one I've done animation for. Speaking of relatable animated moments, when you encounter a piece of audio animated in the original context. Yeah, that's terrifying, especially for things like MBMBaM less so, because MBMBaM I tend to kind of listen to once in order and then don't listen to it again. Drawfee has so many compilations and so many like videos that will just like come on naturally, and especially because a lot of them are just intros as well. Like I'm sure for like even more, I was going to say even more relatable content for just me and Mythical, but I don't know if anyone else has done an animation of specifically the full moment from Drawfee's tarot episode. That doesn't make sense to me anymore listening to it. I'm like, oh hey, I know this bit. Oh god.
Ben Stein,
that is very...
and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't.
Yeah, let's start another poll. Hold on, I'm going to start a poll. This is going to be a fun poll. I want to see how many people are in this poll. Give me 1 second. What does it mean content does not meet guidelines? I was going to do a funny poll thing and it's telling me off. What guidelines? Isn't it my stream? Wait. Okay. Well, I was going to do a fun joke. But I don't... Maybe it, like, banned the word full? Why have I been banned? Unbelievable. Is it because it's all in caps? Okay. Well, someone's done the poll anyway, so thank you for that. I don't know who saved me there. So yeah, that's in caps. What was the problem? Did it really not like full? What's wrong with the word full? There's so much worse. Cool. Well, there better only be 2 yes votes, otherwise this is a stream of liars. Unbelievable. Well, Raph, thank you very much for for that. I was very lost. Yeah, apparently. Is this why Jacob's so mad at me? Is this why he's so angry? At any rate, where are we?
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face, classic.
Need to change his eyebrows there, I think. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't really click until Mythical said, "Oh no!" But Aliens, Penn and Teller has redacted us. Maybe has a different unintended meaning. If you don't know or don't presume that the word "fool" is meant to go there, or "fool." I don't want his eyebrows to look angry there, so I'm going to change that slightly. Let's go back. There we go. Bit furrowed, but we keep the general nervousness. Yeah, why are you allowed to say full, Taja? This is unbelievable. I'm gonna have to reread the terms and conditions.
Ben Stein, and he tries to put the mask on, but it doesn't work. So Jim Carrey, in like his classic rubber face style, style.
Yeah, okay.
Classic rubber face style. Just.
By the way, just for like, I know a lot of people from these streams are more Drawfee fans than MBMBaM fans, but I know a lot of you are American, and so not knowing MBMBaM shouldn't matter. Travis and Justin's voice for me was very yeah, Mythical. I need to go. I need to fucking go now. Travis and Justin's voice to me were very, very similar when I first listened to it. And it might be because I knew Griffin McElroy before I listened to MBMBaM. But like when I first animated them, I couldn't necessarily always tell the difference between their voices. Is it like a specific like region? Is it a specific American accent? Because there's something about like his voice. I know it's quite nasally anyway. It might just be that. There's something like very specific about their voice that I can't kind of tell. And like the first thing that I ever engaged with MBMBaM was Louis Zong's ice cream animation. And like literally that would have been what, 3 years ago now, and I still, anytime anyone says the word brown, I just go, brown? That famous ice cream flavor, brown? And it's just like so viscerally Travis and Justin to me. I don't know if that's like, well, let's have a look. Travis and Justin have same difference. Southern, they've had trouble distinguishing them. So is it like a southern thing? I don't really know where West Virginia is. I know that's where Huntington is. I don't know if it's like a Midwest thing. I don't know if they are the Midwest. I might have made that up as well.
Classic rubber face style. Just like throw some rubber face style. Just style.
The reason why it kind of all came up is because I heard it again in the style. Brown?
Style.
But,
style. Just like throw some style.
I think I want him to kind of look down there. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Like, I know they literally made a point in the Porky Pig video, which I kind of animated, where they said, like, I'm glad people mix up our voices, or like, I don't want people to blame this on me. Okay, that doesn't work. Right, let's here. Just tag all that. Just want him to look down a bit, I think. Let's see how that looks. Cool, I'm just going to put you on mute for a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. Hello. Yeah, how are you doing, Bean? I don't know. Yeah. That's good. How was your meeting?
Childhood I had, an outsider in my head, again and again. Again and again, we pack up and move. I skip like a stone, new school to new school, unable to float and holding my breath.
Hello, hello. Well, wasn't that my first time getting that completely wrong? I don't think, I'll listen back later, but I don't think there was anything hugely controversial in that. But anyway, thank you very much for yelling that I wasn't muted. It's very kind of you all. With that phone call, I unfortunately need to go soon. Like I said, I will listen back to that later to decide whether I need to stop the stream ever again, like if I just can't come back to the internet. But yeah, for the time being, thank you very much for hanging out. I think I'll be able to tell you in the Discord more confidently later in the week, but I think there's a good chance I'll just be animating again later this week rather than the community stream on Thursday, just because I need to crack on with this animation a little bit. But yeah, either way, thank you for joining. I don't think I've really got anything of myself to plug. Raf's dropped a link to the Discord if you would like to join that and you're not yet. Yeah, I'm sorry at the start of that call I went, oh, you won't believe you won't believe what all these fuckers were doing this time. One of them made fun of me for beans again. It's disgusting. One way or the other, thank you very much for joining me, and I will be back on Thursday. Take care, everyone, and peace out. Bye-bye. Oh, thank God I'm done with the stream. Now I can go back to slagging off everyone. You do. Oh, I'm gonna delete the channel now. Thank God I don't have to deal with all of these people. Anyway, well, I better go leave my computer to stream for a few hours. Bye, everyone.